Hey everyone. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about irony. Now, irony is an important term just in the sense that you've probably heard it before, and some of you may know what it means, know how to use it, but some of you may have heard it before and wondered what is irony? What does it mean? And so I want to kind of just break it down, the three main types, and just hopefully give you an idea. Also, the other reason is in our passage that we're going to be reading today, there is irony. There are irony questions, and I want to make sure that we are able to understand that. Now, the main part of this story and understanding the story is making a comic strip and using that comic strip for a point of view. We're really furthering that point of view and really furthering that perspective that we've been working on. But irony is a big part of the story, and I want us to have an idea. So to start off, irony is a contrast between what is expected and what actually happens. Now, contrast being contra, which is a prefix that we know, hopefully meaning the opposite of, but it's the difference between appearance and reality. There are three types of irony, and we're going to look at those three types right now. Now, you're not taking any notes, you're just going through and just really quickly talking about these three types of irony. So the first type is the one that you probably see the most in when people are using irony. This is probably the one that they mean the most. It's called situational irony. And it's just when what happens is the opposite of what you think will happen. So just be careful in understanding that it's not a coincidence. Coincidences happen too. And you're like, oh my God, isn't that such a crazy coincidence? They're not the same thing. So for example, here is irony, okay? Situational irony. You do not normally expect a dog and a cat to get along. So this is an example of that. Like, this is complete situational irony. You do not expect this to happen, okay? My cats would never snuggle up to my dogs this way. Although I gotta say, this cat doesn't seem like he's 100% about it, but he's not 100% not about it. Now, a coincidence is you have the same birthday as your best friend or the same birthday as a student. Or teacher. That's not irony. That's a coincidence. Okay, so what I want you to do is you should have a Google Doc. Get that open. It looks like this right here. And you're going to just write, do you think it's situational irony or coincidence? And then don't worry about question 5 yet, just these 4. So pause my video and take a quick second to answer these 4 questions, and then I'm going to go over them in my video. So pause, and then right here. Now, at this point, I'm assuming that you've gotten to the point where you're ready to watch this. So this is, I don't know why I haven't. Bill Gates using an iPhone is situational irony. You would not expect that to happen. Walking through Target, running into your amazing English teacher, that would be me. Oh my goodness. I'm struggling to direct. That is a coincidence. That's not irony. Irony, you and your best friend show up at a party wearing the same outfit. That is a coincidence. That's not ironic at all. But a police officer getting a speeding ticket, yes, you guessed it, that would be irony. So that's what it should look like there. Okay, now moving on. Our second example of irony is known as dramatic irony. This is when the audience or reader knows something the characters do not. This creates tension. This creates suspense. The biggest example I always think of with dramatic irony is when the main character in a horror movie goes into the house and you know that the killer's in there. And you've all probably seen this before. You're screaming at it, don't go in that room. Don't go into the basement. Don't go upstairs. Don't go here. Don't go there. Because you know that the killer is there, or you know who the killer is, and you're like, don't go with him, because you know that something bad's going to happen to him. But of course, they're going to go there because there wouldn't be a movie if that didn't happen. So dramatic irony, the audience knows that Clark Kent is Superman, but only a couple of people in the movie know this fact. It creates tension and suspense because you are left wondering how he's going to keep his double identity a secret. I mean, what if his glasses break, right? If there's any secret identity that I think is ridiculous, it's Clark Kent, because how do you not know that this person is Superman? They look the exact same. He just has on really big glasses. I never have understood that, because he doesn't wear a mask. I've never understood how people don't know that it's Superman. Whatever, neither here nor there. Now, our last type of irony, this is known as verbal irony. This is basically sarcasm, okay? So when you say the opposite of what you mean, Oftentimes, this type of irony creates a humorous effect for the reader, sarcasm being the main one. Sometimes it can be mean, but sarcasm like this right here. Great weather we're having. It's truly amazing. I love every raindrop that falls on my happy face. Look at this guy. He doesn't have a happy face. This is obviously the opposite of what he means. His face lets us know he's really not at all that happy with the weather. He is very, very unhappy. This is verbal irony. This one you see a lot in your everyday life because people are sarcastic all the time. You really don't see dramatic irony a lot, and then unless you're in a story or watching a movie, and then situational irony does happen from time to time. It is the one that we're most likely going to be looking. It's not most likely. It's the one that we're going to be looking at today. So when we read the Story Century. So really quickly, what is the difference between the 3 types of irony? This is when you can talk it out and then answer question 5 here on these activities, and then right here you're just going to type what irony you think is being used in these 6 questions. I then want to check these 6 questions, and then you should be ready to move on to completing Century. Okay. All right. And as always, if you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you for watching the video. Bye, everybody.